I am the Global Business Development Manager of TradeAtlas, and we have our presenter, Ms. Teresa Guillén, who is our representative for Spain as well, and she is a consultant on international trade, and she has been in this business for a very long time, for more than 20 years, has various publications, including some books, and she is right now doing a lot of webinars, trainings on international trade. So she is a highly good expert on how to promote international trade between countries. So today we will talk about generally how about the business climate, how to export to Spain for exporters. This should be a very interesting topic. Those who see potential in Spain market. This will be a highly useful chat, in a sense, discussion. So we will talk about country risks and business climate, general business climate. And we will talk about how to determine, get to know about the potential of a particular European market in general, import and export trends for Spain, and trade barriers for exporting products to Spain, and distribution channels. So I leave the stage to Ms. Teresa. So welcome, everyone.
Well, thank you very much, Sarah, and welcome to all of you to this Spanish Market Opportunities webinar. Okay, it's in English, so I'll try to be clear and slowly. If anyone has any problem, please ask me or tell me, please, Teresa, go slower. Okay, so I hope it will be helpful for you. Okay, first of all, we all know, that the export is a risky road to success. Okay, because we need, first of all, to know the country risk of that market that we want to approach. In which ways? We need to know the political risks. For example, I remember working for Thailand, in the Thailand market, and suddenly I had political risk problems. So my market was closed for several months. So it means that I had to open other markets in the region, or I had to upgrade the volume that I was selling to other countries to achieve my objective goals for that year. Okay, so it was catastrophic for myself. Okay, you also need to have a look through the economic environment of the country that you want to export to. And of course, the monetary environment. It happened to me also in Argentina. So then I had problems with the fluctuation of the currency. So I had to contract an insurance specialized in the fluctuation of the currency. Therefore, these matters, these issues, you must study beforehand to take the proper decisions, the proper strategies of export. Okay. Secondly, of course, we need to do a market research beforehand. We need to know the target population of that market. We need to know the offer and, of course, the demand too. What else? We'll find tariff and non-tariff barriers. Thank goodness that, with Turkey, there's no problem regarding the tariffs in Europe because, well, you have an agreement. We have an agreement in Europe and Turkey since the 50s years, no? So, I mean, there's not much problem, but we have to have a look also through the taxes. We'll have a look later. And also, well, it is important not for Europe, but if you want to export to other third countries, to take into account the tariff barriers, okay, which is one of the most important factors to take into account before starting to export. For the market selection, go ahead to those countries that you have a free trade agreement, okay? So also if you are a small or a medium company, okay, this is one tip, the first tip that I'm telling you now. Okay, but you also will find non-tariff barriers, lots of them. You must know that the export world is, is a war of barriers or of non-tariff barriers. You will find technical barriers, and if you are from the agro-food sector, as I was for 14 years working for a company who was a producer of pork meat products for more than 80 countries, well, I had to fight, I have to sort it out, I have to solve lots of barriers, sanitary barriers. If you are from the agro-food sector, you will have to sort out many barriers, sanitary or phytosanitary. And what about trademarks? For example, I had lots of problems because of my language, of Spanish language, and in Latin America. So the brand name of my country, of my company, had a lot to do with lots of other brand names already registered in other countries. So first of all, you also need to check out if your trade name is already registered in that country that you want to export. For example, in Spain, if it's in an English name, okay, check it out. Also, because if not, you are going to have problems, okay, after preparing all the export adventure, and then after you go to a market, for example, Spain, and imagine that your brand name has been already registered in Spain, well, it's not worth it, all the travel, all the work that you've been doing beforehand. So it's another issue that you have to take into account beforehand. And the distribution channel of promotion. And promotion, of course, you will have to take business trips. You will have to come to Spain to visit your potential distributors. You have to promote your products or services in trade fairs or commercial missions. Nowadays, there are lots of them that are online because of the COVID. And of course, you have to promote your products or services on your webpage and also in the internet, let's say e-commerce. Well, these are the first matters that we have to think about before exporting to a third country. What happens next? But additionally, internally, for your company to need to be ready, you have to take into account that your colleague, you have to have inside of your company at least one person who speaks English, okay? Someone who is going to work inside the intercultural differences between countries. That is very important, because if you prepare everything, but then after you have to go to negotiate in another country, imagine in Spain, you have to learn about the cultural differences between Turkey and Spanish. It's good just to tell you that at least Spain and Turkey have lots of things in common. So it's not going to be so difficult in our case. But it's important for someone within your department, the export department, or inside your company, to be aware that it's going to have a look beforehand to any international negotiation about intercultural issues. And I love that because, you have to learn about a protocol and things like this, and I love it. It's one of the part of the international trade that I like the most. Well, also you need to know about international contracts, about international transport, international payment options, international documents, and trade finance and currency as well, okay, as I said before. I've been working in the export department as an export area manager for more than 20 years, and I'm not an expertise in any of those deeply. You have to have a knowledge, okay? With this, we'll do all right. Just to be able to negotiate properly. For example, if you are in transport, for the transporter to know that you have a little bit of knowledge of the Incoterms, so he's not going to rip you off. Okay, so it is very important. Now, so just taking into account this, what are we going to talk about today? We are going to focus, as Sarah has explained, about the country risk and business climate before exporting. You have to learn how to know the potential of a European market. We are going to learn how to get the information, the statistics of import and export trends of Spain. Also, we are going to learn about how to find the trade barriers in Spain too. And finally, the distribution channels. This is what we are going to focus today. And we are going to do it under the intelligence commerce in international trade. Okay, this is my specialization inside of my consultant of S&B Partners Consult. Okay, so first of all, we have to be aware that if you want to export to the European Union, there are different 27 countries, okay? And all of them are different from each other, which means that the supply and the demands is different from member to member state. Even within if we compare the Eurozone and the European Union, also the project growth is different, okay? We have different scores. So therefore, it is very important if you want to export to Europe, to develop a strategy on a country by country basis, okay? Because even that in the European Union, we continue to move in the direction of a single market, the reality today is that every country, in some sectors, they have their own rules and legislation, like in pharmaceuticals, telecommunications, legal services, government procurement, and so on, okay? So we have to be aware beforehand about these two. But let's go to find out the country risk and business climate. I'm going to show you some internet sources of information that even that we are going to do the example of Spain is going to be, you are going to be able to use it for many other countries. Okay, so I think it's going to be very useful because it's not going to be focused just only in Spain, but you after this webinar, you can use it for any other countries. So the first internet sources of information that I would like to explain to you that is very, very useful, and I think it is the best for finding out the country risk and business climate of a market that you want to approach, that is going to be your target market for your products or services, is COFACE. Who is COFACE? COFACE, or COFACE in French, I don't know, because it is a French source of information. COFACE is the export credit agency for France, okay? It is a very important company who gets very good updated information all around the world because this company is giving export credit to the companies. So they are going to charge interest. So for that reason, they need to justify these interest rates. So they have lots of good updated information of all around the world. How do they do it? Well, they give scores like a ranking, let's say. It's like a ranking of all the countries all around the world, and it's made by letters and numbers. So the higher score, the best company to deal with, to do business with, it could get an A1. Then it goes A2, A3, A4. Those are very good rates. And then after it comes B, C, D, and E. You can see in the map that is also, this map is showed by colors, different colors, okay? It starts, the best one, the highest score is the A1, so it's the most strong green. And then it goes down till the brown, let's say, okay? It's the darker brown. As you can see, Spain, it is quite well, okay? It's in a green, quite well situation regarding climate, political risk and climate business, okay? But I'm going to tell you how to use it because I want you to use it for not only for Spain, but for many other countries too, okay? Now that we are here in this webinar. As you can see, it has a possibility to compare at the most until 4 different countries. I've just made the comparison between United Kingdom, Spain, Germany, and Turkey. And you can see, how you can get to the score. Well, in country risks, you can see A3 for Spain, okay, regarding in comparison with Germany and United Kingdom, which is very good. Okay, we are in a very high level. And also regarding business climate in Spain, well, we are in the very big top, which I would like you to take into account Spain as a nice market to export your products and services. You can see the comparison with Turkey too. Okay, here you have for business climate, Turkey is in a very high position too. It's A4, it's between the top. Okay, so but I'm going to show you how to get to this. If I can I go out of my presentation and try to share my screen with internet, Sarah? Do you know how can I do it? Sure. Well, maybe I have to go out of my presentation. Okay, I know. Okay, not to worry, I'm there. Okay, so if we go to the beginning, okay, I'm going to show you how to get into here. You have to go.
You can share your entire screen, I think. That way, maybe it will catch your browser too.
Am I sharing my screen?
Not right now.
Now?
Not yet. I'm
No?
not sure, but
Okay, so maybe I have to go back again to share my screen. 1 sec. I will go back here. Okay, yeah. Okay, I have to go out and in to show you how to work in the internet.
Now we can
see a little bit slow, Sarah, but I think it is worth it for the people to know how to use it. Okay, not to me to explain. Okay, it is cofast.com. Okay, then we go to select a country. It doesn't matter which one because we want to go in to enter, and it's very easy. You just only need to go here to press and to add the countries. Okay, that you want to compare. For example, let me see, I'm going to take our picture from here because we are in the middle. Let me take it away. Okay, so here we want to compare countries. So we go to compare countries, change the country. Well, I don't know why it's not working as I do normally. And there it goes. So you have to press in compare countries, you go inside, okay, it's cofast.com. You go inside of the main web page, you search in a country, any country, you go inside and you start comparing countries. You go to the cross, you press the cross and you say, for example, we want to compare United Kingdom. Then we go to United Kingdom, to the United Kingdom, you. Okay, United Kingdom, we press OK. Then we go to the next one. We wanted to compare United Kingdom with Spain. Okay, so we go here and we press to the triangle. We go to Spain. Spain, let's see here, Spain. We do OK. Now we want to compare with Germany. So we have click on the cross. We go to the triangle and we search for Germany. If it opens, yeah, we go to Germany, to the G, Germany, okay, and we do okay. And the last one, it is Turkey. So we search for Turkey, Turkey. Turkey, and then we press OK. Then we press to compare, and then we have the scores of United Kingdom, Spain, Germany, and Turkey. And it's a very good, for example, you want to export inside of Europe and you don't know which market you want to export to yet. Okay, this is one of the factors that you might learn beforehand, the country risk and the business climate. So you can do it with 4 countries, so and it's as easy as this. I mean, it hasn't taken us more than 1 minute. Okay, so I think it is very, very interesting for you. Okay, so I'm going to move back to the presentation. Can you see it, my presentation, back again? Yes?
Yes, sir, so we can, we used to, we can't now, not right now. Can you go back? Did you change anything? I'm not sure.
No, can you see?
We are still seeing COFAS. Okay,
yes,
now
we are in the COFAS, but in the presentation.
Okay. Now that way we are seeing it.
Okay, so then underneath that score that we have got is very interesting because you can have information about the strengths and the weaknesses. I mean, the explanation of how did COFAS got till this score. Okay, how did they get this score from? And then they explain to you why Spain is like this, because why has it got this score? Because, well, the strengths that it has, and when it is not on the top, well, because there are some weaknesses still. Okay, so I think this is it's very easy. You can see, that there's an important company behind this web page, which is COFAS, okay, that is the export credit agency for France, okay, which is a serious company. It is for free. It doesn't take you a while, just only 1 minute, and you can get this information, okay, for not to make the mistake as I made when I was exporting to Thailand, okay? Remember this as my anecdote. Okay, So another web page that I would like to show to you that I think it is very important too, which is this is the country commercial guide from export.gov. Export.gov is the trade organization of the United States. Okay, and then you have very important, very good country commercial guides. So, and it's very easy also to work with it. I mean, you go to the main page and you choose for Spain. Okay, then what will you get? Okay, as you can see, it is from the International Trade Administration of the United States, which is also a very official, very important institution, okay, in the United States. And it has this web page that is Country Commercial Guides. Remember this name, Country Commercial Guides from the export.gov. Nevertheless, Sarah, I will pass it to you, this presentation. I will put it in PDF so everyone can get it. All the links are inside here, okay?
Sure. Everyone that requests this presentation, they ask from the chat also. They can send us their email address, write it on the chat, or in any way other. We also have your emails on the forms.
Perfect.
But you can also share with us your email address that you would like the presentation to be sent to, and we will share it after the presentation.
Why do I say that this internet source of information it is important? Because it has an amazing menu. Okay, as you can see on the left-hand side. So imagine that you are here. You go to you press to the export.gov. It's called trade.gov, as you can see here. You select Spain, that is the country that you want to export to, and what you could get. On the left-hand side, you have a very nice menu where it is divided between doing business in Spain, but for me, the most interesting of those is the leading sectors for the USA exports and investments. What does it mean? It's the sectors that the United States recommend to its companies if they want to export to Spain, that they are the leading ones, okay, leading sectors. So imagine you press here, you go to Spain, you press into leading sectors that you can see on the right-hand side of my screen, okay, and coincidentally, your company is in the sector of one of these leading sectors. Then bingo, okay, you have very good information that is going to help you a lot. For example, in this case, I can show you for the next in the next slide. Well, those are the sectors that the United States have found out that there's higher demand in Spain. You can see here aerospace and defense, education and training. So there are services, there are industrial products, ICT, and also I've seen, I don't know where was it? Yes, agricultural sector. Yes, very interesting. So there are different leading sectors that if you are of any, as a Turkey company, if you are inside of any of these sectors, very good. This is your webpage, okay? For getting information and being able to prepare all the intelligence, commercial intelligence information before you start the adventure of exporting to Spain. Okay, very interesting. Okay, here you have all the leading sectors. Okay, for example, aerospace and defense. Well, another one, we are going to move to another source of information. Okay, imagine that you are not in those from the United States leading sectors that they have found out that they are the most interesting ones in Spain. Okay, I am proposing you another web page, which is from the CBI. CBI is let's say the export trade organization of Holland, of the Netherlands. Think that the Netherlands is a country that is a big exporter, but also is a big importer, imported into Spain, into Europe, in the whole Europe. So it has information for the countries to export to inside of Europe. Okay, that's why it's so important, such a good web page, okay, for all of you to have a look through it. And also it has several sectors. And also it is included not only from the food sector, but it also has tourism. It has, like you can see here, consumer goods. you can say, well, there are lots of different sectors, okay, which can be of high interest for you too, okay? And I like it very much too, this web page. Why? Because, well, it can give you market information, very interesting one, of the different sectors. For example, I just selected here the fresh fruit and vegetables, okay? And I found out that in Spain, there's a big market for fresh fruit and vegetables. So it is interesting. It is funny because in this web page, they tell you even how many minutes it will take you to read the market research, okay, which is fine. I mean, I think, sometimes we don't have so much time. And in all the market research reports that they use the homogeneous menu, okay? So it is very interesting because it gives you, well, you can download it, okay? It is good for you to have it in your computer and then after to read it whenever you want. You also have related research by your requirements, demands, the trends, okay? We are talking about exporting fruits and vegetables to Spain, okay? And look at this, it has very good information, okay? But another official internet source that I would like to show it to you regarding the agro-food sector is the one that I use it in my work, as an export area manager of that company that I work with, that it has more than 5,000 employees. So it's a big company, it's a leader company in Spain. And I was working there to open, I was the person specialized in opening new markets, 3 markets. So imagine the food sector, that it requires a lot of investigation, lots of commercial intelligence beforehand, because there are lots of technical barriers, well, let's say more sanitary barriers, okay? So the internet source of information that I used the most, it is the fast USDA, okay? The USDA is from the Agriculture Department of the United States. They have information for all over the world, and especially also for Europe, and you can find information from Spain too. Okay, so, and also it's very easy to use. Well, if I go out, it's going to take me a long to come in. So maybe if you have any query later on, after I do I finish the presentation, we can go ahead if you want me to present you, to tell you how to use any of those, okay? You tell me afterwards. It's very easy. You only have to write fast USDA. Well, you have here the address in my presentation that I'm going to pass it to Sarah, okay? And you have to go to search. You click on search and you will come to this page. What I suggest you to do? Well, to click on all categories and to find here in countries to look for Spain. And if you do that, okay, here you have the address, gain.fast.usda.gov, but not to worry because you will be provided with it later, okay? Well, you know that is from the Foreign Agriculture Service from the United States. It is a very official, very good source of information. Well, you have all categories. You imagine that you click on Spain, okay? And what you will get? You will get all this information, as you can see, is very well updated. You have information from the 21st of April of 2021, okay, from different sectors here, from the cheese sector, from the retail. You have, I mean, everything. You have lots of important information, market research done for within the agro-food sector, which is of high interest for the Turkish companies. Okay, that's why I'm telling you this, because I learned it from, and I was able, I remember at my company, if they call me, Teresa, there's for example, there's a buyer from Senegal, okay, who is arriving to the company. Well, in 20 minutes, I was able to have a good knowledge of the market of Senegal, for example, okay, with just 1 click. Well, 5 clicks, okay, these 5 sources of information that I'm showing you today, okay? So I could get information, of very good information, so I could have the meeting with that potential customer professionally, knowing all, knowing the political risk, the situation, the business climate, all the barriers, the tariffs, okay? And we are going to go through all of those now, okay? So very interesting, and also the distribution channels, okay? And to know, how was my sector in that market too, which is of high interest and very well updated. Okay, you have lots of sources of information which are for free and they are homogeneous and very easy to work with. Okay, so here you have, imagine 38 results found. So it could be one that suits you, okay, for sure. And another one, another source of information that I would like to show you. This one is from the European Union. And it is very important. We are talking about trade barriers, but also we are going to talk, we have to talk about tariff barriers. In access to markets, this is the other source of information, you can find out the tariff rates everywhere in Europe, okay? And also, well, we know that from Turkey, as we said before, there's an agreement since the 1950s. Okay, so you don't have to pay tariff rates. But nevertheless, it is very important to know. You can use this source of information to know which is your tariff code number. Why it is so important to know your code tariff number? Well, Sarah, okay, with TradeAtlas. If you haven't got the code number, you cannot find information, you cannot find statistics information. Yes. And it happens in all sorts of information that you require in international trade. You need, first of all, to know the tariff code number of your product, okay, to be able to find information, not only statistics from TradeAtlas and so on, but also for taxes, as I'm going to show it to you. So here you go to access to markets. For example, I just written the name of curcuma, okay, it's an spicy. Okay, imagine that the country of origin is Turkey and you want to export to Spain. Well, there you have the code number. Okay, we are professionals, so no less than 6-digit number we need to know from our products. Okay. As also TradeAtlas requires, six-digit numbers. Okay, so let's go ahead. As we can, if we click on it, okay, then we get the tariffs, okay, that in our case is not so interesting because of the relationship between Turkey and Europe, okay, but it is interesting to have a look also through the taxes. So if you press the button to learn about the tariffs, you will have on the left-hand side, you will get the menu with the tariffs, the rules of origin, because it's good. I mean, we know that you don't have to pay any tariff to export to Europe, but you have to demonstrate, you have to prove that the origin is from Turkey. If not, you will have to pay the tariff that is required for third countries, okay? So it is important that. Also, you will have information regarding other taxes. In this case, well, the value added tax, the VAT, okay, that is 10%. What else do you have on the menu? Interesting, import requirements. Okay, if we are talking about a food sector, it is important to have a look through the import requirements. Okay, and then after you will have also statistics. Okay, so there we go. On the left-hand side, we are going to check out now the import requirements. What you can find in this part of import requirements, you have information about overview regarding the European Union. You also have information, general information about the normal documents, the common documents that you need to attach with the goods when you export. I mean, the general ones, well, like a pro forma invoice, the packing list, and so on. But have a look to the specific. There we go. Here are the import requirements, and not only documentary, but also is telling you, for example, in this case, labeling of foodstuffs, and also, well, traceability, other requirements that the European Union requires you before exporting your products to Europe. Okay, very important, very important. For example, I have just pressed here in control of contaminants in foodstuffs because you know that maybe there's an additive that is prohibited in the European Union, or some ingredients, but it's important to learn the quantities that it is forbidden, because maybe your product has this ingredient that you think that it's forbidden, but it is lower in the quantity, so you can export, okay? Another tip that it happened to me many times with different countries, okay? In different markets. So there you have. So it's very important to have a look through all the legislation, to look deeply, okay? Not to say, okay, my product has this additive, so I cannot export to Europe. No, no, no. Have a look. What kind of, which are the levels required, okay? The limits. And well, for example, well, then you press on the control, in this case, control of contaminants in the foodstuffs. And here you have all the regulations, all the information, okay, that you require for that. So you can deeply go inside of all the requirements. Very important, the specific import requirements, okay? Before you have to go to search with your code number, okay? You have to go through here, okay? And you also can have statistics. Interesting, okay, because you can find the statistics from Turkey to Spain, and also Turkey, how the exports from Turkey to Spain of this product, product that we have selected, and also of Turkey to the European Union, okay, and you can see by value and by quantity, okay, very easy. Well, the thing is that with curcuma, it doesn't export Turkey to Spain too much, okay? So this wasn't very good example, but I've been doing with trousers, and it's amazing that the volume of demand in Spain is the half of all the imports from Turkey of the trousers into Europe, okay? So it is Spain, it is a very big market for this product, and I have the code number here is 620-620-462. So if any of you are from this sector, from this code number, well, think about Spain, okay, as an export market, potential export market, okay? So, and how can you find this information? Very easy. Well, you can do it, as we have said before, going from the code number and to go to trade flow statistics, or you also can go directly in access to markets. You go to goods, okay, and then you can press between here. You have the possibility to ask for new trade statistics. So here's the example that I looked for it, and I could see, you know, these big quantities, and this is the code 620462. Okay, for trousers. It's a kind of trouser. Okay, I'm not very much on the textile sector. Okay, but important, not only to have the statistics of the last interannual statistics, I mean the last 2 years, the comparison between the last 2 years, but it is important, very important for the exporters to know the statistics in the last, for example, 4 years. Okay, to have a global idea about the increasement of imports in the country of this product, okay? For example, here we have Spain, okay, and partner is Turkey. Turkey is the exporter, Spain is the importer. We put the 4 years and we click on importer value, okay? And there you have the quantities, they are huge quantities, okay? Half of the imports in Europe, okay, are made by Spain, okay? There you have a good possibility too. Going backwards again to the Foreign Agriculture Service internet source of information, the first use that is the one that I use a lot, okay? And talking about trade barriers and talking about the food sector, okay? As I explained to you, you can use it. You can go to search, and now for finding trade barriers in the food sector, you go here. You press this possibility. Do you remember that first of all we press just all categories to get all the reports? Well, now I'm going to focus just on the market research reports regarding trade barriers. Okay. And how we can get? Well, just we have to press here, okay? Food and agricultural import regulations and standards reports, okay? This is where you have to press, okay? You have to choose, select for having information on trade barriers in the food sector. And then you press Spain and you will get all the reports regarding this. I would like to suggest you two main ones that I like the most. Is the third one, that is the annual country report, because it gives you the first use that it gives you an annual report, a general annual report of all the trade barriers. And also there's this one, yes, the narrative, this one, the last one, the Food and Agriculture Importer Regulations and Standards narrative, that it goes more deeply in the regulations, okay? So with these two, if you choose, well, if you want to choose them all, you will get lots of information, okay? But if you're in a rush and you don't have much time, okay, I suggest you the annual country report, this is the second one, and the last one, okay? And you will get a lot of information, very clear, very deeply, you know, and the potential importer, when you will talk about this, you know, he will be amazed how much you can know about your product sector in that country, you know, more even than them. Sometimes it happens, you know, that then after they have to choose, they have to have a look, you know, if that's real or not, because they haven't even known before. I mean, so it's amazing, you know, all the information that you could have. And also it's very important to be able, before, to know all this information before you go to a negotiation with a potential importer, because you are going to offer this person really the goods, the products, or the products that you are allowed to export to that country, and that it meets all the requirements. So you are not going to make them lose time, you know, talking about other products that that importer is not going to be able to import. So you are going to do so to prepare just a range of products. You are going to, your offer is going to be completely appropriate for the market, okay? And also you have also information about marketing, okay? And also about the marketing and market too, okay? So it's very important to have all this information beforehand. Am I too fast?
Not for me, but if anyone thinks that she is moving
I speak very fast. Okay, I'll try to go.
That's the same thing with me too, so that's not a problem for me, but I'm not sure.
We go ahead. I don't know also what time is it. Okay, we have time to finish. Yes. Well, there you have, okay, the first annual country reports, which are amazing, okay, with all the information. You can see here that is from January 2021, very well updated. You have here all the information about the trade barriers in Spain for the food sector, okay? You also have another certificate report and also the standards, the narrative. Here you have the narrative. That is a very good one too, okay? That is, you can find lots of information. And as I was telling to you, you will know deeply, you know, the quantities of additives that is forbidden, or the ingredients, or what are the labeling requirements for your product in Spain, okay? And all this information that is very important to know beforehand, okay? That is a must. Well, and now going to the distribution channels. Okay, we are going backwards to this internet source of information that I was telling you before, that is from Holland, that is from the CBI. Okay, as I was explaining to you before, the CBI, I mean, Holland is a big importer from third countries that distributes inside of Europe. So it has marvelous information regarding distribution channels in Europe. Okay, and I found here this one of how do European buyers of spices and herbs think, okay? Regretfully, Spain doesn't buy much spices and herbs, okay? But yes, the rest of European countries. So have a look through this web page too, okay? This source of information that is going to give you a luxury information for you. Okay, so, but also, now I'm going back, this screenshot, it goes backward again from the one that I like it so much, that I've been just showing to you, that is regarding the trade barriers from the United States, okay, that they have found all around the world. Well, this source of information also has great information regarding the distribution channels, okay, that now is the issue that we are talking about. Well, you also, but it is a little tricky how to find it, because you have to go within all categories. you have to find exporter assistance. You click in the triangle, and then you have to go to food. Well, if you want to find out information regarding the food service, okay, and the retail foods. Important. It happened to me with in Asia that the strategy of my company when I was working in the export department in my last company from the pork meat products is that the strategy was to find one importer that distributes to chains of supermarkets, okay, in all around the world. But what happened to me? What happens to me is that in the Philippines, they haven't got big chains of supermarkets to distribute international food. So sometimes it is important in some countries to have a look also to the food service, okay, because maybe they are not big. The distribution channels are not big in the retail foods, okay, as chains of supermarkets, but they are big in the food service. Okay, because they have different hotels and restaurants, you know, and this could be the right distribution channel for you. Okay, well, in Spain also there's the retail foods distribution channel is very big, but there's also, you know, we are a tourist like Turkey. We are a tourism country. Okay, we live from we have lots of services. We provide lots of services for the tourism, like Turkey. Okay. So also it is important for you to select the food service, okay, when you search for Spain, and you will get lots of information. As you can see here, imagine this is from the 16th of April, okay, it's just right now, I mean, it's fresh. This market report is really fresh, okay, just from the oven, okay, so you have lots of information here that is going to be really, really helpful. And well, all this is what I wanted to tell you, okay? I've been showing to you 5 sources of information that you can use it for not only for Spain, but for other European countries, okay? And also, if you want, for other third countries too. What happens with these sources of information? They are all homogeneous. You have to look when you are using information sources, you have to use the ones that they are homogeneous, that they are easy to use, okay? It's easy to compare, you know, homogeneous in the way that you can compare countries and data in the same way, okay? Homogeneous, that they are easy to work, that they have different formats, okay, to download it and to work with them, okay, to analyze. And also, it's also very important that they are well updated. As you can see, all of them are super updated, okay? And also to have an official institution behind them, okay? All of them, as you have seen, they are from the United States, from the trade promotion organizations of the main countries, okay? United States, Holland, European Union, okay? They are COFAS also, that is important institution in France, okay? So all of them, they are guaranteed by a good, important institution, okay? So hopefully these 5 sources of information have been interesting for you, and they are for free, okay? I didn't tell that, but they are all for free, okay? And very easy, and with a click, you can have a very good puzzle of information for you to take the perfect export strategy for your company, okay? Thank you so much. I don't know, Sarah, if they have questions.
For now, they asked only, as far as I see, Mr. Jabrail asked whether it would be possible to share the event record. We cannot share the video record due to, KVKK, the regulations in Turkey. But we will share the presentation via email with you, this as a PDF file after the presentation. Right now, I can ask any questions that you would like to direct to Teresa, or you can take the lead and ask yourself as well. We would be happy to answer the questions.
Or if someone wants me to go ahead to go backwards to one source of information to practice.
Yes. Okay, we are awaiting if anyone has any questions. There was also a poll. I was a bit distracted. Sorry for that, but
yes, I don't know. I was in Turkish. I don't understand. So I hope it's everything all right.
There was a poll regarding, how they found the presentation. Mr. Ümit asks, sorry, that they want to have the addresses of the sources mentioned during the presentation. I think your presentation will include those in the PDF file, will it? Okay. So we will send you, Mr. Ümit, the presentation, and you can find the addresses of all sources. Mr. Soner asks whether you can inform them about wooden doors, especially fire-rated wooden doors. But I think we will need to go back to the presentation and check the websites. But if you have any brief suggestions for wooden industry, wooden doors industry, fire-rated wooden doors, if you have any information for it, maybe you can share, in
what, Sarah, because if I had to go inside of all the web pages and have
I
to
think it would take a long time.
What I can do, if this person can send me the query by email, okay, I'll try to find some sources of information that would be helpful for this person too. Okay.
So, Mr. Soner, you can send us an email, and we will direct your questions to we will direct your questions to Teresa, so that you can also talk with her, discuss with her after the meeting.
Yeah, because I also work in the furniture sector, so I might help you.
Mr. Chara is asking whether you can tell them.
Well, Sarah, one thing. If he wants to find what happens in the furniture sector, I remember when I was working in the furniture sector, that the main thing for me, because there were not many technical barriers, but it was difficult to find agents, because as for example, in other sectors, normally we look for importers in other countries. Regarding the furniture sector, normally you try to find agents. So, and there's an organization, there's a union, international union organization of agents, because the agents also need to be registered. And it's very interesting. I know one source of information that would be very helpful, because he can find, agents all around the world, easily, just being in contact. Is UCAB. I mean, I don't know if I can write, is ICAB is the name of the organization of agents. Okay, so there he can find, if he goes to this, is UCAB .org, I think, if not .com. Okay, and this person can find maps of different places in the world, and if you click on any of the flags, you can get the all the list of the agents in this country, okay, and divided by sectors. And also in some of them, you can have the information for free, and sometimes you cannot. So, but you have the organization that you can contact, and they can send you the list. Sometimes you have to pay, other times you don't. Okay, it depends on the country. Okay, but yeah, I think it would be very interesting for this person.
Mr. Chara is asking about the main container ports to use while exporting to Spain. I think he is referring to, if you have any suggestions regarding the ports of delivery in Spain, which ones to use.
Okay, the main ports are, but it depends on the product. Okay, it is Valencia and Bilbao, and also Vigo. There are three. Okay. Three are the main ones, but it depends on the products. Normally, it's more specialized one port than the other one.
Okay. So far, those are the main questions. It is, if anyone has any other questions, I would be happy to direct them to.
But Valencia should be the main one, because it's also in the Mediterranean area. So I think for Turkey, the main port will be Valencia port. Okay, to do the export too, for sure.
Okay, Mr. Ümit is asking your ideas about finding manufacturers, as they are selling unfinished materials like PMMA sheets for furniture coatings.
Spanish manufacturers. Okay,
yes.
There's one web page. I don't know if I can share my screen. I will. I don't know how. Well, I will take my presentation here and I will go back. Okay, I think this is how it works. Okay, and then I can go. I think if I share here, let me see. No, dejar de compartir. Okay, I know how I did it before. Dejar de compartir. Okay, and then I go here. Okay, one second. I'll go to the web page and then I will cámara aduanas. Yes, the web page is camara.es. Is camara camara.es. Okay, I'm going to try. Let me see if I can share with you my screen back again. This, can you see?
Yes, we can see now.
Well, this web page is from the Customs and Chamber of Commerce of Spain. Here, there's, if you, well, I don't know if it's in English, maybe, let me see. Yes, it is in English, okay? So there's one possibility of finding import and export companies, okay? So what happens here? You can get all the list of Spanish companies, okay, that they export and they import, but due to the protection of data protection, they are only going to be here those companies that they have allowed the Chamber of Commerce and Customs, okay, to declare their information. But here is very important, it's very interesting because you also can search by tariff code, like always, okay, of your product, and you will find here, you click here, import and export companies, and you will have all the list of Spanish companies of that product. Okay, I think this could be helpful for this person.
Yes, also, you can check TradeAtlas for some more
Of course.
companies as well, their data.
Of course,
by the way.
Of course, no doubt about it.
But for official, these records, for some other company names, it would be also very useful, as you said. So one else, I couldn't see the name, sorry. Mr. Kemal is asking about the political climates to me directly between Spain and particularly inside Spain, whether there are anything that would affect Turkish exporters negatively or positively right now, about the general political climate in the country as of today.
Multiple climate. I don't know what to say about it. I'm so sorry.
In terms of trade relations, I don't think there are as far as I know.
Do you say political climate between Turkey and Spain?
No, within Spain. Like he's asking whether the right-wing Nationalist Party will, if they win the upcoming general election, what would happen to the business sector? Well, whether it would.
The political climate in Spain.
Yes,
okay. Well, the situation in Spain politically, now at this moment we have political elections in Madrid. So if you want to export, to have business relationship, I mean, it doesn't affect so much in political situation just right now. Okay, the only problem that could be that it's making the score of the COFASE a little bit lower is regarding the Catalonian political problem in Catalonia. Okay, that has made the political risk a little bit lower, but it's in a good health, I think, the political situation in Spain at the moment. Okay, it's just only this problem, but also you can go to COFAS and to have a look through the weaknesses regarding political risk. And then you have all and it's official information, because maybe I can give you my opinion, but it's not that right. Okay, it's better you go to COFAS to have a look there in the weaknesses and strengths of the political situation in Spain now. And it will tell you. But as we have seen before, let me see if I can find it. It was here. Can you see my screen now or
yes,
not?
Yes, we can.
Well, as you can see here, Spain has in political risk is A3. It's just like Germany or the United Kingdom. So it's not in a bad situation at the moment. So go ahead to do business, not to worry about the political risk in Spain.
Miss Hilal is asking how COVID-19 affected the trade between Spain and other countries, like Spanish trade. How is the situation right now? You may a bit talk about if you wish.
The situation about the trade between Turkey and Spain at the moment.
No. The COVID-19, after COVID-19, how is the general climate for business right now in Spain?
Yes, well, the thing is that regarding agro sector, okay, agro-food sector, the export have been maintained, kept our export, the level of exports. So in the food sector, we are all right. Okay, all the other sectors have been more damaged. For example, the tourism. Okay, the tourism in Spain has been the sector that has been damaged mostly. Okay, but for example, the food sector hasn't got any problem at all with the exports. I mean, has maintained because people had continue eating even of the COVID. Okay, but the problem is the tourism. The tourism has been dreadful, had dreadful consequences in Spain for sure. I don't know if in Turkey, but well, probably most or less the same.
Yes, more or less the same. Mr. Okan is asking, how will the upcoming EU funds will affect Spanish trade? As we've heard, there are some funds that Spain will receive, I believe. So maybe you may talk briefly about it.
Yes, well, these funds, we are always, all of us, waiting as water, no, in summer. You know, for us, it's very important, you know, because these funds will help us to start back again as we were before, because the COVID has affected Spain very, very dreadfully. Okay, it has been one of the countries that has been affected mostly. And now the recovery, you know, we need to recover it, but we have gone through, I don't know, we are like Latin Americans in a way, you know, that we have gone through many crises, and after the crisis, we go up again, okay? We are survivors, you know, I think all Mediterraneans are like this, no?
Definitely,
we are used to yes, we are survivors, we will recover, I mean, I haven't got any doubt about it. And the thing is that 99% of the companies are small and medium companies, which we have lots of handicaps. And for example, our company is a small micro company, you know, but we are fighting, we are all fighting. In the case, for example, in our consultants of SMB, we've been working very hard because even with the COVID, because with all the digitalization and with the online work, like now, I mean, we are today all together with this webinar, okay, and talking and continuing and getting trained for international trade online. Well, we are doing lots of webinars, programs in different countries, and we are working very hard indeed.
Mr. Peck asks whether you can tell the address that you mentioned about the agencies again.
Maybe we can go, yes, maybe now that I can share with you, and I know how to share, let me see if I can go here. Okay. The problem is that I have this, I cannot, if I could take this from here, yeah, there it comes, okay. UCAP. Let me see. Because I have so many things in my. Am I sharing with you?
No, we are seeing a screen, but it's frozen. We can't see the UCAP web page right now.
Yes, the page is this one. Internationally United. I can see it. Well, I will.
We can. Maybe you can stop sharing and share again. Maybe that there was something that froze. I'm not sure.
Can you see now?
No, still
no?
Frozen screen.
Okay, then I'm going to go again.
Okay.
Yes, because I found it. Let me see. Can you see now?
Yes, right now we can.
Definitely. Okay, so it's very easy. You only have to go here to B2B platform. You press in here. And here you can see the flags that I was telling to you. So you can press to Austria, for example. And you can have, well, you can get the information about finding commercial agents in Austria, okay? And so on. And let me see if I can go backwards. And here you have Benelux, France, Germany, Italy, North America, Russia, Nordic countries, Southeast Europe, Spain, here you have, Switzerland, and United Kingdom and Ireland. Some of them you can get the information for free. Some others, no, you have to pay for the list of agents, okay? But, well, you have to be lucky in the country that you are interested in, okay? And yeah, and also they can give you the information about by sector, okay? I'm from the textile sector, I need the agents in Italy, okay? But they will send you all the information about the list of agents, okay? But as you know, yes, but I think it's very, very useful, okay? Because when an agent wants to act professionally, needs to be registered. So that's why in some of the countries, you know, well, they got these lists of agents. Not in all the countries, okay? Not in all the countries have the same meaning of agents as we have in Turkey and Spain, okay?
So there are two more questions. I think they can be last questions because they're a bit integrated. Ms. Beyzanur and Mr. Burak has two questions. They are asking how they can get somehow the trust in the Spanish market of the companies, how they can achieve good trusting business relations. And Mr. Burak also asks what is the general idea for products that have the label of Made in Turkey. So for a Turkish, you can, I think, combine those and briefly share your suggestions maybe about how a Turkish company with Turkish products, also those that have Made in Turkey labels, how would a Turkish company gain the trust of a Spanish company in general in the Spanish market? What are your suggestions in that sense?
Well, these international negotiation issues, okay, and but I really like that kind of information. And well, there's a very I can show you another source of information that is Canadian. No, but well, let me see. Country insights. I am sorry, no. So that this one is going to be very country insights. Canada. Canadian Foreign Service is the global country insights. Let me see if I can find it, because it gives you, yes, intercultural, I think it was here, but this is a program. Global Affairs, Canadian Foreign Service Institute. Let me see if I can find you. Sorry, because this of the direct things it's a little bit complicated. But what I was going to tell you is that country insights. Could it be this one? Yes, here it is. Okay. No. Well, there's I will give it to you, Sarah, when we finish this webinar. There's a Canadian has one part in their web page that they give you information about how when you go to negotiate with someone, what are the things that you should talk about. I mean, if you should talk about football players, or if it's better not to talk about politics and everything. And from the 2 points of view, from a Canadian person and from a local person, okay? So for example, if you choose Spain, okay, you can get the information about what a Canadian thinks about dealing with a Spaniard, and also interculturality, and also from the point of view of a Spanish person, what do we think about doing business with foreigners, okay? So it is very interesting, this web page. I will pass it to you.
So we can share it together with the presentation with the participants then?
Yes, because I know that it's called Country Insights of Canada, but I don't know why I'm not finding it properly. Okay, I have to have a look a little bit. Okay, but I know the one that you need. Okay, and it will give you all the tips for international negotiation with a Spaniard. Okay, so but I think Turkish and Spanish people, we are very similar in many ways. So I don't think we can, yes, I don't think we can find much problems. I had problems when I was working with Eastern European countries, and then suddenly my boss said to me, Teresa, now you have to open the Japanese market. And then, oh my goodness me, that was difficult, okay, to say from Eastern European countries, from Russian people, you know, that they are they have a very competitive style of negotiating, to Japanese that they are they have lots of protocol, you know, so that's important. Between Turkish and Spanish people, I don't think there's much difference, or Greek people, all Mediterranean or Italians, we are very similar, all of us. All the Mediterraneans have the same way of negotiation styles, okay? We like to bargain, okay, to talk about prices, and you know, and we like this kind of and also personal relationships, okay? So, and well, I think you are not going to have much problems to deal with the Spaniards. I think Spain could be the bridge for your products within European countries, okay? Because we are Mediterranean, we know each other, okay?
By the way, our representative for Italy is also here. If he is also right now here, I'm not sure whether he is here. Silvio, hello, by the way, if you are still here, but it was a nice coincidence that you mentioned Italy as well. So we are 3 companies here from different parts of Mediterranean, and I definitely agree that we can easily communicate and easily establish good business relations, because doing business between these countries are somewhat similar as well, business practices. So if no one has any more questions, and if you want to share something else, Teresa, I think we can write, you know.
Well, for me, it has been a pleasure to be with all of you. I hope this webinar, you found it helpful. Okay, and well, there you have lots of very nice sources of information for your competitive intelligence in international trade. And I would like to, to cheer you up in this adventure, which is the export adventure, which is very gratifying. And it is very important nowadays to internationalize our products and services, without any doubt, and now more than ever, okay, after the COVID. So thank you very much. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, TradeAtlas.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure always to be with you, okay?
We thank you. Thank you for accepting our offer, accepting our invitation for this webinar. So we will continue with in the future as well with new webinars with different topics with other hosts and presenters as TradeAtlas Export Academy. And you can also, after the presentation, if you have any, if you come up with any more questions for Teresa or us, we would be happy to hear from you. You can email us at info@tradeatlas.com. And we can answer as much as we can about any topics that we discussed here or else. So thank you very much, everyone. We wish you a pleasant day. Hope to see you again in our next webinars as well.
Te secure ededum.
Gracias.
Adiós, adiós. Bye, bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Teresa.
Evet. Sadece biz kaldık herhalde.
Evet. Bizim çocuklar da unuttu çıktı galiba ama neyse.
Dur bir saniye. Tamam. Harikaydı. Ellerinize sağlık. Ben bunu